Hello, Mani, can you hear me?
Hi everyone.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Can you hear me?
It's Mani from Chennai.
Hi, Mani. This is Brother speaking.
Hi Opus, how are you?
Good, good.
Okay.
We'll wait until maybe a few more people join.
Okay, we can wait. So you're sharing your screen, right?
Yes, that's right. Currently, I'm sharing my screen.
Okay. I was seeing something like a smart grid layout. Okay.
Yes, yes. Are you able to see the full screen?
It is not a full screen. It is a It is a partial or 1/2.
I see, I see. I'm not sure why that is.
So this is Hangout on Hair, right?
Yes, Hangout on air. So it's being recorded live.
Maybe something. I think something related to the resolution. So how is coming in the YouTube? Is it YouTube looks good or?
I've not checked YouTube yet.
Okay.
Mm.
It's became big now.
Really? Yeah, still
Yes,
not optimal for some reason.
okay. I able to see mostly the till download button I able to see.
Yeah.
Maybe it is coming complete now. Yes. Okay, maybe I able to see the complete one now, I believe.
Yeah.
Before everyone join, can I ask something?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I was not. As I was trying to understand your profile.
Mm-hmm.
I know you are special. You are good at WordPress and you do some plugin development and all those stuffs.
Mm-hmm.
Is it right? Is my understanding right?
That's correct. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So you own there is some company called Soft or some what is it? It starts with yes, right?
It's logic.
Logic. Okay, you own
Yes.
that company.
Yes.
Okay, okay then. I think some
Someone else is on. Ashwin is there. Hello, Ashwin.
logic.
Ashwin, can you hear us? Yes. Good.
Okay, okay then. I think so.
Someone else is on. Ashwin is there. Hello,
Hi,
Ashwin.
hi.
Hi, Ashwin. Can you hear
Hi
us?
Ashwin.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Hi, hi.
Hi, Ashwin.
Hi Ashwin.
Hi, guys. Able to hear me?
Yeah, we can. Yes.
Yes, I able
Okay.
to hear you.
Who else apart from Pratha? Manikandan, is it?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
One more person is
Shankar as well.
joining.
Hi, guys.
Hello, this is Shankar.
Hi, Shankar.
Yeah, hi.
Who else?
Maybe you can switch off your video, Shankar. One more person is
Yeah,
joining.
sure, sure.
Then this way it will make it. Hi, Shankar. That's confusing. So right now there is four of us: Mani, Ashwin, and Shankar. We'll just give it another 5 minutes to see if anybody else wants to join, and then I will start. Shankar, Ashwin, are you able to see the
Yeah,
screen properly?
yeah, I'm
Yes,
able to
I
see the screen.
Michael said he wanted to join,
Actually,
but he's not.
Arup?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my true caller was actually misspelled as Michael. I'm not. I'm the guy who spoke with you morning and suggested for
Oh.
online meetup. It's actually Ashwin, not Michael.
I see, Ashwin. Okay, okay. For some reason, your phone came up as Michael in the.
Yeah, it was an error. I
Report.
just changed it. I just changed it.
Okay, okay, no issues. I will save your name correctly then.
Okay.
Okay, then I guess we might as well start. If anybody wants to join, they can join in between. You can all hear me properly?
Yes.
Yes, I able to hear you.
Okay. So briefly, I'll give you a background as to how I came about to give this talk. I have a background in doing data analytics and IT, and I was for the last about 4 or 5 years I've been doing some WordPress developments, and I use a lot of WordPress for any projects that requires to have an online presence, as well as a lot of content management. So whereby the dashboard is very useful as for enabling users to manage their content, organize their content, and then share that content online. So as a result, one of the projects I recently got involved in has been to try to make an online calculator for calculating the carbon footprint of Indian industries. You might all be aware that India has signed up to the UN climate accords in Paris 2 years back. And as part of this agreement, each country has to start measuring what is their actual carbon dioxide emissions accurately. Till now, this calculation was done at a national level by, for example, if you take cement industry, which is one of the most polluting industries, they would actually calculate the total amount of cement they're producing in the country in 1 year, and then they would say this is equivalent to so much carbon dioxide emission. The problem with this approach is that many companies nowadays in India are trying to actually reduce their carbon footprint. They are making some efforts, such as, for example, using solar panels for electricity, maybe capturing carbon dioxide within the chimney stack, things like this, to try and reduce their carbon footprint. And therefore, this method does not capture that effort. So there is a company in Mumbai who specializes in all this industrial calculation of carbon emissions. And this company director approached me and asked me if I knew any company who could do one online calculator. So online calculator would basically be one form where each industry owner, factory owner, can come and put in some values for their specific industry. And the calculator would then in real time calculates the carbon emission based on the inputs they're given. So as a pilot phase, they required 8 different type of industries. So each industry is got specific form that they require with specific fields. Cement industry and say ammonia industry will not be the same kind of thing. So the first challenge was to enable a tool that could build on top of a form plugin to quickly produce complex forms, but also to try and reduce the maintenance of these forms. So, for example, there is many parts of the form which are common to each industry. When we capture, for example, the factory owner, contact details, location, address, all this kind of information is common to each industry. So we wanted to be able to make a tool that would be able to design parts of a form, and that sub-form would be able to be reused in subsequent forms. So the plugin I want to present to you today is basically the result of this work, which allows us to do very nice, elegant forms, designed with a grid layout, as well as being responsive. And on top of that, adding extra functionality such as, for example, reusability or modular approach to form design, where you can reuse components of forms. There are also some other more complex aspects of form designs that I will go into, which this plugin is offering. So far, everybody is clear? You're understanding what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So this plugin is called Smart Grid Layout. You can see on the shared screen here. It is now actually part of the official WordPress repository. It has been uploaded a few days back, and it is currently in a stable version. It has gone through a lot of testing and stuff, so I believe that it is relatively bug free. And what I will do now is I will show you how this thing works on one of my local installation of WordPress. So here I've got a small local host installation. I hope you're able to see that properly.
I think someone is having not in mute.
So someone is having some TV background.
Yes, Ashwin, could you please check? Okay, thank you, Ashwin.
Yeah, that's better. Okay, are you able to see the screen properly now? It's a little, I don't know why it is being cut out like this. It's strange that it's not showing the full
Yes,
screen.
able to see the screen.
Okay, good. Okay, so basically this currently I will have you all used Contact Form 7? Anybody has not used Contact Form 7?
I used Contact Form 7.
Okay.
Money
so
I have it.
if I make a, you have not, okay, so let me just show you what Contact Form 7 looks like by default when you install. I'll give you some idea. So when you install the plugin Contact Form 7, you will see this sub menu, which is called Contact. And when you create a new form, what it does is it actually creates a form which you can, you have quite a lot of liberty as to the design of the form through an HTML, simple HTML editor like such. So as you can see, it's a very rudimentary HTML editor, which is fine for small forms, but as soon as the forms become very big, with lots of fields and lots of HTML, then it becomes quite difficult to actually manage this. Similarly, when you want to add a new field, the way you do it is you have these tags, what they call Contact Form 7 tags. So for example, here I could put a div, and inside my div, I could put a contact form, say for example, a number field. Then I can check these boxes to say if it's a required field or not. Dummy number, for example, I can call this field dummy number, and then you can set default values. You can set this. I can put, for example, 100, and I can say this be a text as a placeholder. So basically, as soon as you put your mouse in there, that number would disappear. I can also make a range if I want it to be between a certain allowable value, like it can only be between minus 100 and plus 100, for example. I can put an ID attribute, I can put a class attribute, and when I insert the tag, you see it actually inserts a shortcode. And this shortcode is then converted into an actual input field, input tag elements, by the plugin when this form gets displayed in the front end. Okay, and you have quite a few different tags, different fields you can enter, and you also have some plugin extensions that allow you to put more complex tags. So if you look through the WordPress repo, you will see some extensions, for example, that will allow you to do things like tags which are what you call it, what's the word? Dependents. So you can have dependent tags upon other inputs and things like that. So there is some quite a few number of extensions that you can add on top of this. So this is the default contact form 7, how it looks. And now what I will do is I will enable my plugin, which you will see how it transforms the back end of this plugin to enable better design layouts. So here I've actually already downloaded the plugin. It's called, it comes up as CF7 grid layouts.
Brother,
Yeah.
so I just have a doubt over here. Instead of showing us a calculated demo, what my expectation was how to create a kind of contact form through which I
Yeah.
save files, that is image files. Okay.
Sure. So you can do this as well with this. What I want in image file, I will give you a small demo of how to actually do that with this plugin. Let me just walk you through, because what I want to do is actually stick to the plugin Meetup, and then but I will answer your specific question and give you a demo on how to save a file in the backend. Fair enough? Ashwin? Yeah.
Yes, thanks.
Okay, so now I'm adding a new file, and you can see the plugin has completely changed the backend, the layouts form. And now what you have is you have this grid structure for designing forms. And basically it works with a number of rows. So I can add a new row by actually clicking on the row command here. And you can see it's added a row below this one. Within the row, I can split my columns. So right now I've got a column which is a full width, but I can add extra column. And now this is a 2-column row. I can make it a 3-column row. And you can go up to 12 division. Up to 12 times you can divide your row. You can also control the size of these rows. So for example, this is a 1/3 size because the full width is divided into 3. But let me say that I wanted to make this row into a 2 unit size row. And I can also do things like, for example, do an offset to this row. So I can make a 2 unit offset. And now you can see that this row is complete. These 3 columns are filling up the entire page. So this allows you to have much richer design of form layouts in the front end. Similarly, what this allows you to do is, so let me just delete this row again, and I'm going to add a new row now. I can also convert an inner row into a grid. So now I'm converting this column into a grid. So you see what it has done. It is actually, the column has been converted into and this inner row, then I can add another row and subdivide it and do various things I might want to make a more complex inner design. The advantage of this inner grid is that I can now make this entire row here a collapsible section. So if I create this as a collapsible section, it'll actually create a form in the front end which is collapsible. So let me just give you an example of this. Okay. Now, and just for the sake of having something in my thing, I'm going to put a label here. This is we just put a simple text field. So each column has got a small, you can put a label, you can put a field type, so this is a text type, and then you can also put an info tip if you want. So this is a small text which will appear below the field, giving some instruction to whoever needs to use this form. Second field, let's make an email address. And then so let me just update this. Now I'm just going to show you what it looks like in the front end. I need to get so the way you display your forms in the front end is you have a shortcode that is created, which is quite common to a lot of these plugins, form plugins. Then you go create a new page. I'm going to insert my shortcode. Publish this. Now if I go in the front end. Okay, so you can see here, this was the original form which I've not changed. Over here, over here. This was the original form which I created, which when you create a new form, this is the default structure that comes in. So I've not really changed this. Maybe I can remove this submit button because obviously we don't want a submit button at this point. Let me update this. And here I now have, therefore, this default section which here. And this is the section, the collapsible section I was telling you about. And when I open this, I can see there's an extra part of the form, which is this first field and the second field. Okay. So collapsible section is very useful when you have complex forms and you have several sections that your users have to fill in. And therefore, it makes it much more manageable rather than have a very, very long form that people have to scroll through. So this is what collapsible sections does. Now, another interesting feature here is that let me, for example, say that this is going to be, instead of demo form, I'm going to call this the my sub form. I'm going to update this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new form. I want to delete this whole structure. So one way to go about and clear your form is you'll notice at the top there is two views of your form. There's the grid layout, which allows you to have this nice grid representation of your form, and we also have the text. So here, what we built in is a proper HTML editor with a color syntax. So you have your proper HTML syntax. You have your CF7 form tags, which are also highlighted in blue, which makes it very easy for you to manage the HTML. And of course, the power of the contact form 7 is that you can really fine tune your form design. You can add extra classes. You can add extra ID elements as you wish. And therefore, both aspect is preserved here in this plugin. So you have the grid layout, and we also have this HTML layout. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything, and I'm just going to simply delete this and come back to my grid. So now you see my grid is now coming back by default to one single row, one single column, and a single field in it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually insert at the top here. I'm now going to insert my previous form that I created. So I'm going to call this my subform. So you see, by editing my column here, instead of making a grid, I want to now insert a form within this column. So instead of having that column, I'm going to insert that cell. I'm going to actually insert this form. Forms into a drop-down where I can see all the forms that I've created so far. So you see subform is the one I created earlier in the previous example. I'm going to select this. And just for the sake of this, I'm going to now, let's say, I'm going to make a submit button on this form. So Let me make this 3 weeks, and we're going to do an offset of 9. Okay, and here what I do is I'm going to put a submit button. All right. Now here I've got my send button. I'm going to publish this as final form. And now what I need to do is I need to actually display this final form into my front end page. So what I actually need is I need the form key. If you're used to using Contact Form 7, Contact Form 7 default plugin uses IDs. So it's a post ID that it uses to identify the form. And actually recreated a new shortcode which actually uses the CF7 key. And the advantage of a key is that it's much more portable. If you want to then develop your forms on a local machine and then take it to a live server where you already have some data, then the IDs would not match between the two servers. But if you have it as a key, then this key would remain the same regardless of what ID is being created in the live server. So this is a small addition to make this a lot more portable. So let me update this page. And now I'm going to refresh this. So if you recall, what I did is I actually added this form as a sub form at the top, and below this I've added a submit button here. So let's see if this reflects properly. Okay, so there you go. See my send button is here now. It's the design is a bit awkward, but and then we have my collapse section is still here. And the previous structure of the form is also available. So this is how you can actually build modular forms. Now, I'm going to answer Ashwin's specific question now. So let me, for example, instead split this into 2 columns. And we're going to make this into 1/3 size, and we're going to have an offset of 2. There we go. Here we're going to put a submit button. And here I'm going to put upload. So you see, Ashwin, here we have among the tags available, we also have a file tag. So you click on the file tag and you then give a name to this field. So user. You can set a limit to the size of the file that someone can upload. You can also make it acceptable file type. So this could be, say, PDF and a doc, for example. You can give it an ID attribute and a class attribute. So now I'm inserting this, and you see it's picked up the file types as being PDF and doc. So only those kind of file extensions will be accepted by this upload. Please upload. All right. So I'm going to update this. And if I now come to my front end, so by the way, the reason why my form looks so squashed up here is simply because I'm using the default WordPress 2017 theme, and by default, the page width is only this much, and here you have a title and usually the space for a sidebar. So that's the reason why the form looks a little bit squished and doesn't occupy the entire page. But obviously, if you change your theme, then you would be able to have your form full width. And I'll show you an example of that. So you see, yeah.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting. So
Yeah,
that's cool. how you show about how to manage the file. But what I want to say is how will it get stored? That
Yes,
is
yes,
on
yes.
the back end. For example, if you are using this plugin, there
Yeah,
will be some plugins I have used in which you can see the manage subscriptions, where you see the name, those things on the dashboard.
yes,
Similarly, how I can see over here,
yes,
that is the files and the photos, how I can
yes,
see over here.
yes, yes, yes. One step at a time, Ashwin. I will get to that point. Here, therefore, we have the layout of the form, and we have a collapsible section still. I can browse for a file, and it asks me what file I want to think. So, for example, I could say, let's say, pick up this PDF. And what happens is once I send this now, so here it would actually give me an error because these fields, you see these fields are required. I have not filled in these fields. But basically contact form 7 in the back end does only sends a mail. So you can configure your mail here, and you can configure the fields that you want to see in your message body. So by default, contact form 7 does not save anything in the backend, does not save anything into a post or into a database. And you need to actually install an additional plugin to do so. But before I come to that part of the demonstration, I want to complete the demonstration as far as the form layouts. So I'm going to continue with that demonstration. And at the end of this, I will come back to show you how to actually save your form in the backend. So I hope so far it's quite clear. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to redesign my subform. So I'm going to edit this, and I want to show you a couple of extra features which are very powerful in this plugin. Let me delete this, and I'm going to remove these fields also. In fact, I'm just going to clear the entire thing. That's probably easier. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a section here, which is going to be an inner grid. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this inner row now. So as soon as I convert my inner grid, I can make this outer row collapsible like I showed you earlier on. With this inner grid now, what I can do is I've got some extra options that appear on the row edit. And you can see I can still make the row collapsible, but now I can also convert this into a row table input. And a row table input basically allows me to add multiple rows to a form entry. So add another, for example, that would be the name of my button. And I'm going to make this into a name, text fields, name, email, and here I'm going to have maybe a phone number. Telephone here. Okay, and I want to show you now what this looks like. Now, if I go to my front end and I refresh now my page, the subform you see here is I got my name, my email, my phone, and I now have a button which actually allows me to repeat these input fields. So I can add in multiple rows. So this is useful when you want to build a form where you require your users to be able to input table structure of data. So here would be maybe this might be a subscription list that I'm building. So this would be Mr. X, some random email, and a phone number, and then Mr. Y, And then I could put another. And this information would actually be saved if we were to configure with an additional plugin, which I'm going to show you at the end of this demonstration. If we were to save this in the database, this would actually be saved as an array. So this would be an array of values, which you could then pick up from your database and manipulate and do something with it. Okay, so this is the ability to create multiple rows. And of course, you have this button where you can delete, and you can delete these rows as you.
Brother?
Yeah?
Yeah, apologize, but I have to leave the meeting. I have another meeting over here.
Okay.
Fine. So don't mistake me. Thanks for your time. Thanks for considering.
Who's this? This is Ashwin.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ashwin, I will do one thing. I will send you the link to that plugin I was telling you about, and you can. There is a lot of instruction on the plugin page how to map your form to a post.
Okay, brother.
Okay. You can go through that, and if you have any doubts, you can ping me on that.
Yes, and also I would like to suggest that this is apart from the plugin. The thing is, you're making up a plugin for a factory, right? Kind of carbon emission, ammonia's kind of thing, right?
Yes, yes.
So we have been into IoT space, and it would be great if we can work together to merge IoT with this one. For example, you can put an emission sensor over there, and the owner, factory owners need,
Yeah.
uh, it's not required to actually enter everything. The sensor itself will start reading, and it will always be sending information. So it will be making the owner's life even more simpler. So I was just thinking about that. And what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's great. But all the automated data entry can be done in any case, because you can simply have this is all linked to the WordPress plugins, and automated form filling systems are available. What we require would be to have the ability to enter each field using a specific URL code. So probably the best way to approach this would be to do an automated post to the backend without even having this form. But the only thing is that factories are actually quite complex. The forms that we're building for these factories are very, very complex, with multiple possible ways that they can actually enter these data. So actually doing something automated for all the possible entries would be quite a challenge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, brother. Thanks for your time. Meeting you.
Most welcome. Yeah. Bye. Okay. Manish Shankar, shall we continue?
Yes, we can continue.
Okay. So let me go back to my thing. So as you can see, this allows you to add multiple rows to the. Subsequently, what I want to show you also is one more option, which instead of converting into let me just delete these again, and we'll start afresh. Great. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this into a tab section. So the tab section is similar to table inputs, but instead of having a row structure, a table structure, we actually have a tab structure. So here, for example, I could add maybe one tab called Office, and within this I would have name again, email, phone, and I can make this into again my new entry, text, name.
Parata, your voice is breaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's audible now.
Okay, good. So So I'm just doing again what I did the entry, the fields I was doing before, which is basically a name, an email, and a phone. But this time, what I want to show you is something slightly different. So here, for example.
The voice is breaking. You are not audible, and your screen is also freezed. Shankar, am I audible? It's Mani here.
Yeah, yes, Mani.
It looks like I'm not able to see the screen of the
Oh,
organizer. The Varat.
okay. Yeah,
You are
me
able
too.
to see him?
Yeah, me too. Not able to see. Yes.
You
Right.
also not able. Okay. Let us wait for him.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Got a hello, Mani.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I got a WhatsApp from hello. It's like I forgot to. His mobile battery is down. Charge is down.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay. Let us wait for him for some time.
Okay. But he pinged in the WhatsApp.
Hey, Mani, are you there?
Yes. No,
Apologies.
actually, how I need to call your name? I was just confused.
Vrata or Vrata, anything is fine.
Varata, it is Varata, right?
Vrata, yeah.
Varata.
Yeah,
Okay.
tell me.
Okay then. I think some other person has
Shankar
also
is,
dropped
yeah,
off.
Shankar has dropped off here.
Okay. It's nice to see this plugin, Varata,
Yeah,
because I seen it have some good number of opportunity to add a field in different layouts and some tabs and other things.
yeah.
So you built on the top. So your tutorials expect to continue, or we can discuss?
Just a couple more things I want to point out. 2 or 3 more features I want to demonstrate, and then we can discuss.
Okay. Okay then. Let me wait for that discussion to complete.
I don't know if But Shankar doesn't seem to be joining us. Okay, anyway, let me continue then, since he might join us later on. You can see the screen, Mani?
Yes, I able to see the screen.
Okay. So basically what I am doing now is I am recreating this form here, but what I want to do now is actually, okay. I think Shankar is, Shankar, are you there? I think he might be muted, but I think he's just come online. So what I basically want to do now is I want to make a, I'm going to make an inner grid. So I'm making two grids, one inside one, and the first inner grid I am going to convert into a tab section, which I'm going to call office. And this second grid I'm now going to make into a table input. So I'm now going to construct the same table I had previously, which is a name, email, phone, text fields. Okay, and let me just update this. And now in the front end, so you see here what I, what is this not showing? Something is gone wrong. I'm missing fields here. Yeah, let's back to that. Okay. Okay. So, and why this is not showing? So we have a proper alignment of the form. Otherwise, the alignment will not work. There we go. So here you can see we have that same structure of that table. So I can actually add multiple rows and put some names here and whatever. But what I can now do is I can actually add a second office. So say, for example, I had a form where I needed my users to give me the list of subscribers per office. I could ask them to insert several offices, for example. And in each office, they could add, table structure. So you can see this is actually yet another complexity that allows very powerful forms to be created for online data capture. Okay, so that's one more feature I wanted to demonstrate. And an additional thing I just wanted to point out is we actually created the ability to create dynamic dropdowns. Now, by default, Contact Form 7 has got a tag called just a normal dropdown. So here, this would be select option, and here I would have to actually type in option A. B, option C, for example. So this would be a drop-down field. And of course, in order to actually maintain the options, so say, for example, tomorrow you want to add a new option, you'd have to come back to your form, edit the form, and actually add within these tags an extra option. So, you know, you'd have to follow the same structure and put open quote option D close quote, which is quite a tedious way of maintaining your form content. So instead of doing this, what we've done is we've actually created another way to maintain drop-downs. And this dynamic drop-down now, what is actually doing is allowing you to either build a drop-down content using a taxonomy which is existing in your dashboard. So you can actually choose one of the existing taxonomy, or you can create your new taxonomy. So this could be my select option. So I'm creating a new taxonomy. So plural name, select options. If you know a little bit about taxonomy and development of WordPress, you would understand that these are different aspects of a taxonomy that you can think. You can actually decide whether this is a hierarchical or just a tags type of taxonomy. And at the same time, you can also select to actually populate your drop-down using posts or using a custom filter. And post, basically what it would do is, so let me just insert my tag because I don't lose what I just did. But let's say, for example, I was to add another drop down here, which would be made up of posts this time. I could actually select a post from my existing posts, which are registered in my dashboard. And then I could even filter by a certain category. So only certain type of posts which are associated with a certain category would be selected and would populate this drop down. And the values which are being populated in the drop down would be the title of the post. So this is also another way to insert some dynamic content. So here, now that I've created this dynamic selects, if I update my form, it will actually create now in the back end this select option taxonomy that I created. And you see here now it's added in my meta box. It's added a new dynamic list, which I can edit by clicking on this button here. So I'm going to open this in a new tab. And this is basically the way you can then manage your the custom taxonomy you just created for this specific form. So here would be option A, option B, okay. So now if I go in my front end and I refresh this, so you see here I have my options. Okay, for my navigator here is using let me go in, is using different styling. So the styling here obviously is not quite right. It should be with let me just see if I can quickly change the styling to white. You see here, this is my option ABC is being created, and here also I have my options, but these are coming directly from my form. And it was option ABCD, which I entered manually into the form. So this, you will appreciate that managing your content in the back end using a taxonomy is a lot easier than actually managing them directly into the form itself. So this was one feature of Contact Form 7 which we were not very happy with, and therefore we wanted something which was a lot more dynamic, which uses the built-in content management functionality of WordPress to be able to manage also this content. And then finally, this post here also, you can see, let's see if I got any post in my phone. Yeah, you see I got the first post, hello world, and things like this. So this drop down is being populated by my post titles themselves. We can see now my drop down is being populated by my post. And this is, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Hello. How you select that second post in the post drop down?
In this one here, okay. So if I show you briefly what I have like post in my post section.
Sorry, in the front end, how you are selecting?
Yeah, one second.
Can you show it in the developer tool how the DOM will be generated?
Yeah, I'm going to do, just give me 1 second. I just want to show you what, okay. This is the post you see in the front end, okay? Second, first, hello world, right? Okay, and if you see here in the front end, it's second, first, and hello world is coming, right? And these are the posts which are actually got, they're under the second category. Okay, I've just selected the category term second, right? And in this case, these 3 posts is coming. So now in my form, what I did over here in my drop down, let me just delete this dynamic drop down again and rebuild it so you can understand what I'm doing. I'm going to the post section here. I'm saying I want the type post. It could be pages, it could be contact forms, but I'm selecting posts. And here I have another option drop down where I can search for a term, and I'm searching for the second. So the term is by categories. So this will filter only the post which have got second as their term. And now I insert this, updates, and this is how it's coming down here.
Okay, it's like a dependent drop down, right?
Yes.
I'm asking is when you click on the post drop down widget, the option is not available, right? And just maybe responses take some time.
The option is not available. I don't understand.
When you click on the post drop down menu, just click on the field. It should all the fields should be in the drop down, right? Should be available in the drop down.
Yes.
But when you click on this, I didn't get that.
You didn't get that, but I don't understand. You're doing the demo yourself, is it?
Okay. The post call again.
I don't understand your question, Shankar.
No, Varita. It's money here. Okay.
Money, yes.
Actually, it is what Shankar is trying to say is, once we click the drop down, we should get the list of values, right?
Yes.
So when you see over the Hangout video, when you click that, we are not seeing the drop down. And once you select it, it's coming up. Am I clear?
I see. For some reason, it's not reflecting in the drop down in the Hangout.
But actually, it's reflecting for you, right?
Yes, it's reflecting for me. Yes.
Okay, we're not able to see that. That is what Shankar is trying to say. Is my understanding right, Shankar?
Yes, Mani.
I apologize for this. Let me see if I work from. Maybe it'll show in Hangout if I work from Chrome, because I'm using Firefox as a. Let me see if I can.
I think you're not shared the entire screen, Varita, right?
I've shared only one. No, I've shared only one window.
Yes, maybe that is creating a problem, Varita,
so?
because entire screen, if you shared, you might see everything.
Correct. Let me see if I can change that to entire screen. Can you see the browser?
No, it is just buffering off. The entire desktop you shared, right?
Yes. Now I'm showing my entire desktop.
Wait a while. It's we have to see the desktop. It is a black screen for now.
Okay.
Are you using any virtual desktop or something else? No, right?
No. Just a Linux machine.
Okay. No, we are seeing only the mouse pointer. Shankar, are you seeing anything?
I am also seeing the mouse pointer only.
Only the mouse pointer. Yeah. Okay. I have to come back to sharing only an individual thing then, I'm afraid. So let me share. Let me see if maybe Google might give a better response.
Yes, now we able to see the some YouTube screen.
You are able to see, yeah, but that's because I've shared the Google Chrome. So let me see if I can.
No, no, some W, I think.
Yeah,
The port name is missing, I believe. Port name is missing. Okay.
Are you able to see now? Drop down?
Oh, no.
No.
No, actually, again, it's a screen share, right?
Yeah.
But it's fine, Verta, because
Okay.
as you able to see, we can install that plugin in our development environment, and we can
You can
explore it.
Right.
Is it fine, Shankar?
Yeah, sure. Sure, Mani.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right. When I click, it doesn't actually make a drop down for you guys. Yeah. Okay. Well, apologies for this. For some reason that is not coming. Let me see if I can do again entire screen. No, doesn't look like it's working. So,
Better, or I will check it in my local setup.
sure, you can do that.
Yeah, sure.
So basically, when you click on that post drop down, it'll show a proper drop down as such.
Okay.
Yeah. So this basically is pretty much everything I wanted to show you from this plugin. There is a couple of additional things which are minor details which you can explore yourself using the screenshots and the documentation which is on the WordPress repo page. So if you go to CF7 grid layout plugin, if you just search for smart grid layout in Contact Form 7, you'll get to this page. In fact, I can share the link on Hangouts chat for you. You can then see it there itself. And here you have some I've added some more explanations, some documentation, some FAQs. There's quite a lot of screenshots, which each screenshot being explained. This is a representation of how you can split up the grid layouts. Remember I was telling you that you can go up to 12 division. Each row can be divided into 12. So this just gives you a brief overview of how this is working. I'm using a responsive CSS plugin for doing this. So by default, the front end will also be responsive if you view your form with a mobile application. So you can go through these screenshots, and there's quite a lot of explanations there. And if you have any, there's the FAQ section also with quite a few answers. And of course, if you have more doubts or some issues, you can contact through the support forum on the WordPress. There's a support section here with where you can ask some questions. So, Mani, you had some question.
Yes, thanks for this wonderful session. Okay.
Yeah, most welcome.
And the first thing is, though you developed this on the top of Contact Form 7. Is my understanding right?
Correct.
Okay. I know we have quite a lots of contact forms in WordPress repository.
Yes.
Why you choose Contact Form 7?
Very good question. I have worked with multiple other form plugins in different projects in the past. I have tried one which was called Formidable Pro, I don't know if you heard that one. It is one of the forms which is also coming in a paid version, where the paid version gives you a lot of functionality. And I also work with Gravity Form, which is also very popular out there. Now, the problem with those two plugins is that anything you want to do which goes beyond the simple form, you have to pay a license for it. So the functionality that comes in those forms is great, but you have to actually pay for it. And on top of this, that functionality is designed in such a way that it tries to make it very difficult for you to understand how the plugin is designed. For example, they save in very obscure form tables. Instead of using the default WordPress tables, they're using their own custom tables. The names of the fields do not match the name of the fields that you have in the form. They'll be using things like encoded field names. And they do all this for a very simple reason. And that is because they don't want people to develop their own plugin extensions that, on top of their plugin, which would allow people to do extended functionality for free. Basically, they want people to remain within their form environment and to keep paying the fee. Which, I mean, I can understand the philosophy behind, because these people are trying to make money out of this, and this is their business. So that these two aspects were for me an issue. Primarily because I do projects which are both paid, where the client can pay for such kind of plugins. But I also do projects where I help some NGOs, or I help some projects where they have very little money and they do not have the ability to buy these plugins over and over, because you have to keep on buying a license every year and stuff like this. And as a result, I prefer to develop and build my expertise on one plugin that I know. So if, for example, if for free projects that I'm doing, I was to use Contact Form 7, and then for paid projects, I was to use maybe Gravity Form or Formula Pro, then what would happen is that I would actually have to develop my skills and my understanding of two different plugins for my work. So right from the start, I told myself I want to work with always the same plugin, so that I can develop my expertise and go very deep in that plugin and understand how that plugin is working. So not only I can make very powerful solutions, but I can also develop some extension if need be, and therefore I can leverage the full potential of open source.
Okay, I got your point.
Yeah. So I decided to go with Contact Form 7. I also decided Contact Form 7 for reasons that some functionality that I needed in some projects were not even existing in those other forms. For example, I worked in a multilingual project where we had to reproduce the content in 5 or 6 different languages, and they wanted to have the forms also translated. And currently, there is no form plugin that allows you to do multilingual forms and manage that content within the dashboard. So you can create form. So you can create, for example, that same form in English and French, but you will have to maintain the two separately. For example, let's say, for example, I include one form in one page in one language. Certain multilingual plugin will allow me to maintain the content of one page in one language and automatically reproduce those changes in the other languages, making it very easy to maintain multilingual content. And one such plugin is Polylang, which I use a lot for some projects. And therefore, as a result, I built a plugin extension for Contact Form 7 that will bridge with Polylang and allow to do multilingual forms and maintain that content of those forms in a nice way, which is the standard way of doing in WordPress. So this was yet another example of why I chose Contact Form 7. And because I've been working with Contact Form 7 for quite a few years now, I wanted to contribute to the open source effort. And by doing these kind of plugins, I'm able to make Contact Form 7 better and give better functionality for users of Contact Form 7. And as a result, I believe that people who will use this plugin may themselves build additional extension in the future on top of my own plugin, which I will then be able to benefit.
Yes, I got the point, because open source means is how many persons gets hands to this, right?
Exactly.
When more hands, we will get a more thing out.
Absolutely.
That is a great thought, Rita, because I know you are more experienced than me. That's fine. Actually, you have 7 years of experience in WordPress, right?
No, not so many. I got about 5 years. But before this, I was doing a lot of programming as well. So PHP, I was doing PHP, Java, and some other coding as well. So when I moved to WordPress, it wasn't so difficult to to understand the logic and stuff like this.
Okay, actually, I have only 6 months of experience in WordPress.
Okay.
I used to install in a development version and used to go it in a server and used to try out. Actually, this is very good, Vareta, and I have a couple of things. Actually, I know with respect to the WordPress, I was generally asking with respect to WordPress.
Yes.
WordPress have something called WooCommerce, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And we have something called Magento. We have something called Magento, right?
Yes.
Actually, I know both is doing some.
Yeah, tell me.
I know both is having a e-commerce, and both is a CMS. But
Yes.
WordPress is a pure of GPU, the general public license. But I don't think Magento is a general public license, right?
Magento is also GNU public license. But the Magento is an organization that also has a paid for
yes,
Magento service. So
enterprise.
You can download Magento yourself and install it on your own server and code with it. And there are many extensions for Magento also that are available. But keep in mind that Magento is specific for e-commerce.
Which one you prefer, WooCommerce or Magento?
So WooCommerce
as a personal.
WooCommerce is a plugin that sits on top of WordPress.
Okay.
WooCommerce is not standalone as such. Magento is standalone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, in terms of the quality of the dashboard, so in the administrative part, the dashboard of WordPress is much better and much more user friendly than Magento.
Okay.
So Magento is, I would say, I would use Magento for projects where the requirement for e-commerce is tremendous. In other words, we have maybe 100,000 users per month. Maybe we have 500,000 products in our database. When you have such kind of requirements for a project of e-commerce, Magento is much faster and much better designed for doing e-commerce solution than WordPress and WooCommerce. But if you have a small project, maybe a few products, maybe you have I don't know, even 3,000, 5,000 people per month is a huge number of people in a website already. With that, you can easily do in WordPress. And the advantage is that in addition to WooCommerce with WordPress, you have this entire rest of the structure, like making website, making blog, making automatic posting to Facebook, automatic posting to Twitter, social media interaction. All this is already built in with different plugins in WordPress. But with Magento, the number of plugins available is much more limited.
Much are paid also, right? Most of them are paid.
Paid also, yes, exactly. So, for example, right now we had a project we were working on where the clients wanted to have WordPress for doing all their article review, maintenance review, and they wanted Magento for selling the spare parts. So this was a website where people come for learning how to repair their washing machine, their ovens and things like this. And by learning how to do their self-repair, if they are missing some spare parts, they can go to the shop and buy that part online. So because the parts, there is something more than 500,000 parts for all the different brands of washing machine, they needed that WooCommerce power to do the e-commerce shop. But at the same time, they wanted something which was very easy to create articles, embed YouTube videos, connect with their Facebook page and all stuff. And therefore, they wanted to have WordPress for that. So the two got combined. They have one website, one server with WordPress running as well as Magento.
Okay. Okay then. So I got the point. So and one more thing is, do you? So you mean to say that with respect to the content management, Magento is high grade than the WordPress?
So content management in general, Magento will only allow you to do this kind of products. Magento is not being designed for doing general content management, such as, for example, data collection, or if you want to do services, or if you want to do just an office website where you have many articles, or maybe you have an IT business and you have many different software and you're creating many articles. Or hello?
Yes, your voice is breaking. Am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you properly.
Yes, yes, I am able to hear you.
Okay. So say, for example, you had a IT business, and in this IT business, you're creating many different plugins or maybe software, which you need to create different page for each plugin. It would be much easier to do it in WordPress than it would be doing in Magento, because Magento is not really designed for creating pages and to display these pages. It's really designed for you to be able to search and match different size, different colors, different attributes of a given product. You understand?
Okay. Yes, I got a point.
So CMS is a general term in that sense, and there are many CMS out there, of which WordPress is the most popular. But that within the CMS universe, there is a specific type of CMS which is used for this e-commerce platforms, and Magento is definitely one of the best.
Okay, I got the point now. And with just coming back to this contact form 7 which you developed.
Yes.
Actually, I know you developed on the top of contact form 7.
Yes.
And I want, is it possible for you to give some idea how you developed this new smart grid, or the new form which you tried? How to learn about that?
How to design plugin, you mean?
Okay, you can put it in this way. How to design this type of plugin? Because I'm very new to this. Where you have any blog where I can read about this?
No, I would say the best place to start is with the plugin API on WordPress.
Okay.
There is a dedicated section for plugin API on the documentation, and this is really the introduction about how to create plugin. And one of the concepts in WordPress is called actions and filters. You can see my screen?
Yes, I am able to see the screen.
Okay, so you see this hooks title, hooks and filters. Okay, this is a very important concept in WordPress, and basically this is how you can do any customization within WordPress system. And what you really need to do is first of all read through here and understand what are these actions and filters and how you can actually put in your own code. Have you ever done a little bit of customization using functions PHP file in your theme folder?
Okay.
Have you ever done that?
No, actually, I used to create a custom themes. I used to create custom themes, but not
themes, okay.
plugins.
Not this thing, okay. So in even within your theme, you have a file called functions.php.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And within this file, you can cut and paste some small pieces of code, functions, and you have to add a filter
Mm.
or add an action which will call your function.
Okay, okay.
You understand?
Your voice is
So,
breaking.
actions and filters is basically a mechanism where PHP code you will register a function with an action or with a filter.
Okay.
Okay, and this is done usually by doing add action or add filter. Let me give you a
Mm.
small example. Maybe we have here. You see here we have a function. Okay,
Mm.
email friends with a post ID. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that this function is being called by a specific code. So here, what they do is they will register this function by doing add action, and it will be
Mm.
registered against the action called publish post. And basically what it means that every single time you publish a post on the
Mm.
dashboard, it will call this function.
Mm.
Okay, so it'll in this class it'll go to this class called emailer, and it'll call the function send.
Mm.
Let me see if there's a better example. Yeah. So here, for example, is a filter, add filter, and calls the function filter profanity, right?
Mm. Yes.
So whenever someone is making comments, leaving a comments, this filter will call your function called filter profanity, which is defined here at the top here, and it'll go through. It'll execute your function, and
Mm.
in this, you pass the content of the comments, and you could filter what is being written in the comments. So similarly,
Okay.
every single time something happens in the dashboard, you create a new post, you create a new term, you save a taxonomy, you save a post, anything like this. Every single time some event is taking place in the dashboard or in the front end, there is different actions and filters which are being fired, and you can register
Mm.
your function against one of those actions. So when you register, then what will happen is whenever that event is taking place, either dashboard or the front end, it'll call your function, and then your function
Mm.
you do some customized processing. So plugins is
Okay.
basically a way to register all the different customization you want to do at different steps of your dashboard events in one go. So when I enable one plugin, I am basically registering many actions and filters in one shot.
Okay.
Okay. So you see, for example, in the when I was uh, here, when I go to contact form 7, and I say add new form, right? By
Mm.
default, what it will do is it will normally call the default editor of the contact form 7 plugin. But what I'm doing is I am hooking my own action, and instead
Okay.
of displaying that editor, I am actually hiding that editor and displaying my own editor.
Okay.
Okay. I hope that
Yes,
answers a
sir.
little bit your question.
Yes,
Unfortunately, you
yes,
need to
I
go a lot more into the code and
yes.
actions and filters to be able to really understand what is how that works.
Yeah.
And maybe what we can organize is subsequent months we can do a specific meetup on plugin creation, and we can maybe do a simple plugin tutorial for the meetup.
Sure, that would be helpful for me.
Sure.
If you have a time, just to think of that. And one more
Yeah.
thing is whether you're the so I think you are the only WordPress Chennai you are the person who's organizing a WordPress Chennai meetup with respect to Chennai, right? Is
No, there are several other people, but they are not very active. One more person is there called Nyana Sekaran. He organized the
okay,
last meetup in Annanagar.
okay.
And yeah, last month it was in Annanagar. So he is based in Annanagar, and he's quite far. Maybe we should try more often this online meetup, because maybe this way more people will come, will join.
Yes, that is. And whether you're directly part of WordPress organization as an organization?
No, not part of the organization. No.
Uh,
Why are you
okay.
asking? Because the plugin is in the WordPress, is it?
No. Actually, when I go to the, right, if you see the Twitter page of WordPress, they
Yeah.
says that some of the meetups are organizing in and around of world. When I see
Yeah.
that post, I
Yeah.
immediately getting. I was just trying to link that with you.
I see. No. The
Okay.
Meetup website is a website which is being used by WordPress for these organization. But Meetup is also a public. So what WordPress does is that they will look at each of the places where in the world where they have WordPress meetups. Because in meetup.com website you can do any meetup, not just WordPress. You can do
Yeah, okay.
JavaScript, you can
Yes.
do Magento, you can do anything like that. But what happens is that the around the world you can organize a WordCamp. Have you heard of WordCamp?
I hear that, but I'm not sure what is that.
Okay, so WordCamp is basically like a conference on WordPress.
Okay.
And usually WordCamp will be 1 or 2 days where they will invite different speakers on some advanced topics or maybe some plugins or maybe web design, maybe UI design, this kind of stuff. So these speakers will come and do a presentation. They'll give a 20-minute talk about some specific topic. And
Okay.
there is several WordCamps in India. There is in Mumbai once every year. Delhi also has organized this year. Kochi has organized. There are many towns in India that have organized. But in order to be able to actually organize a WordCamp in your city, you have to do a certain minimum number of meetups. So the
Okay.
community of WordPress developers within the city have to do minimum number of meetups to be able to organize a WordCamp. So this is why the WordPress is checking the Meetup, promoting Meetup, getting people to sign up for Meetups.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes, I got the point. I hope down the line you should be in the position to make of a WordCamp.
I would like to make a WordCamp for Chennai, but the problem is we have not enough people coming to meetups. We need to have a minimum of 10 to 20 people who are regularly attending Meetup. But right now, each time we've had maybe 2, 3 people, so it's very difficult to organize WordCamp with such few people.
Okay. So you used to travel to Delhi because I seen some of the meetups speaking about your Delhi. What is that about?
So because I am in touch with some people who are organizing meetups in Delhi, last time I
Okay.
had to go to Delhi for some work. I suggested that I could join them in the meetup and give a talk there. So they invited me to give the talk at the meetup.
Okay.
That's why you saw my discussions there also.
Okay. Then so that
Good.
is organized by someone else, right?
Yes, it's organized by the people in Delhi, the WordPress people in Delhi.
Okay. Then that is a nice discussing with you, because
Most welcome.
I was very new to this, and I believe like WordPress have some good number of opportunity to explore it, and have opportunity to have much more content usability.
For sure, for
Uh,
sure, for sure.
because
And there's a lot of demand for WordPress developers as well. There's a lot of
that
work.
I
Very
okay.
difficult to find people with experience in WordPress. In
Is
fact,
it so?
even myself, I have to turn down some work because I don't have enough people to work.
Oh,
So,
okay. Because
obviously making website is easy. But once you want to go into this plugin development and make some customization, then it becomes more tricky. You need to know more about WordPress to do that.
okay. And with respect to your plugin, I feel like your plugin is impressive, Varat. Okay.
Yeah.
And how many plugins you have developed so far? I just like to know.
I have done a few. I can show you
How,
briefly in
how
my. So if you go to my plugin, let me show you the previous page here. So you can click on my name at the bottom here where it says contribution. If you go to the bottom here, you can see contributors and developers. If you click on this one, you will go to my WordPress page. And on my WordPress page, you will see all the stuff that I've done. There's a small summary of what I'm doing. And then you'll see here there is a section called plugins. And there you can see all the plugins I have.
Okay, what is the contact form 7 Google Map module and multi-site module?
So you can see there is several extensions I built for contact form 7. Google Map is basically allowing you to show Google Maps within a form, and for people to select, input that location, save that location. This polyline is that multilingual. You know, I was telling you.
Okay.
So currently, there are 3,000 websites in the world using this extension.
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah. That is a very good number.
And this plugin also is a very powerful plugin. This Post My Contact Form 7 form. Basically, this is the plugin I was wanted to show to what's his name, Ashwin, but he had to leave early. So this Post My CF7 form is a plugin that allows you to map your form and your form field to a post or a custom post meta field. So this way, each time someone submits, makes a submission on your form, that submission will be saved as a post in the backend.
Okay.
Yes. Then this multi-slide is basically, it's a module which allows you to design a form on a slider. So, you know, on a website, you can have a slider.
Yes.
With different slides. So each slide can be one form. And this way you can ask multiple questions by getting people to move on to the next slide.
Okay. Yes.
This network-wide post is this is a plugin which is used by very few installation because it works for installation where you are using the multi-website installation of WordPress. WordPress can be installed in a multi-website configuration where instead of having only one dashboard and one website, you can have multiple websites and multiple dashboards all under the same database. I don't know if have you ever set up a blog on WordPress.com? You know WordPress.com? WordPress.com?
Yes, I know.
You know WordPress.com. So WordPress.com, you can set up your own website, right?
Yes.
And you have your own dashboard. So WordPress.com is running the multi-site installation of WordPress. So every single time you go and you create a new site, it's actually creating a new dashboard and a new website within the same WordPress installation. And we call this network WordPress or multi-site WordPress. Those different names. And then finally, this one more plugin here, which is also very active. It's it allows you to reorder your post within categories. So you can do custom ordering. I can give you a brief demonstration here. When you select a term in your category, you can actually reorder your post within that category. Can you see that?
Yes. I able to.
Output for this.
The advantage of doing this is by default, the posts within terms are ordered by date. So whenever you published, the publication date is used for ordering your post and the way they are being displayed on your page. By using this, you can actually give a manual ordering of the post. So instead of the post being returned by a chronological order, they will be returned by this manual order. Okay. Understood?
So it's like updated latest post, right?
Not quite. It's more like because the latest post will be whatever last post you published. But you see, for example, if you have a category page,
Okay.
so for example, in your menus, I can go to my, let me just give you an example. If I go to my menu section, right, there is a categories that I can add. So for example, here I've added one category called the second and first, okay?
Okay.
And when I click on this category, it'll give me a page which just shows me the posts
which comes under
from that category, right?
Yes.
So if I go in the front end,
yeah.
and I go to second here, and I click on my second link, you see now it's showing the posts in the order which I manually set.
Okay.
Rather than the chronological order.
Okay.
It's used for that.
Okay, then that's good. Maybe you should teach us how to do the plugin development.
Sure, I can give you some tips and
you just organize one more thing. In next meetup, could you please try that off if possible?
Sure. We can do that. Okay. But prior to this, you should you should read up about this actions and filters.
Yes. I should come to that codex.
Plugin API, right? And you go through that and you read about it, because otherwise, if I give you if I do a meetup on plugin development, you'll find it very difficult to understand what I'm talking about without having at least this much background.
Yes. I understand the point. Okay. I dive into that.
Shankar, what is your level of WordPress experience?
Yeah, yes, Arrow. First of all, thanks for this wonderful session, Arrow.
Sure.
Yeah.
What is your level of Shankar? What is your level of WordPress experience?
Yeah, actually, since I'm from the Drupal background, Drupal CMS.
Oh, Drupal, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually,
how many years you've done Drupal?
6 years experience nowadays.
Okay.
So parallelly, I have running on a blog, which is used in WordPress. So that that is possible this meetup. So couple of things I need to ask Aro.
Sure, tell me.
In the demo, you showed that on contact form, right?
Yes.
There you have created one dynamic drop-down. Before that, you created one more drop-down, which is very simple: option A, option B, option C.
Correct.
So my question is, it may be a simple, basic thing, but you've given just a value. It's not a key value, right? Key pair value.
Yes.
So actually, I have faced one issue in my Drupal CMS.
Yes.
Can you show me again that how the key value will be in that? In our rich text editor, you've given a option A, which is the value only, not a key.
Yeah.
Will it be automatically take that value as a key, or
it'll in as far as contact form 7, it uses the same text value that you're putting in as the value. It doesn't use any specific value. But in the dynamic dropdown that I showed you, it will be using the slug for if you're using taxonomy as your dynamic list content, it will use the taxonomy slug, the term slug as the value. But it'll show the term name as the option text field.
Yeah, that I understand. I am very much clear about that. But in that simple or dropdown only given value.
Yeah.
I didn't given a key. Yeah, this one.
This one, option A, option B.
Yeah. And then how the option B?
So the value here would be option A.
Okay.
Yeah, because here there is no way to set the value. To actually set the actual value in the select option field. For this, I would need to manually build. If I wanted to set the value, what I would do is I would do something like this here. I would come, it's my select option. So here, instead of having the select tag, I would remove this one. And I would put an actual select HTML.
Okay.
And because I have full control over the select, then I could actually build my option values and stuff like that.
Okay.
You understand what I'm doing?
What happened to me is I have faced one issue
Yeah.
since it comes in a text editor. Okay. I have faced that issue with the key value. So I have given a key value, say for example, option A, which is the one, is the
Yeah.
sorry, 0 is the key for the option A, 1 is the key for the option B, 2 is the key for the option C.
Fine.
So what happened? I have created the content.
Okay.
So later point, some of the plugins is not supporting that key. When you pass that key, which is a 0, it's not taking. At that time, I need to change that key into 1, 2, 3 order, not a 0.
Oh, okay.
At that time, I want to change that key value. Key.
Okay.
So at that time, the content is already created. The Drupal CMS, the content saved with the already created key only.
Okay. So you want to know how to dynamically change it?
No, I don't want to dynamic change it. Already the content which created earlier have a 0th key, which means if I'm changing that 0th into 1, that time value will not be in the storage in the database.
Right. Okay.
So that that question.
So what is your question? I don't understand your question. What is the actual question?
Okay, Shankar, can I try Arrow?
Yeah.
Shankar, so what is the problem is, as per your update, the 0th key is not selecting the respective value. Is my understanding right, Shankar?
Yeah, 0th key is not responding for some of the plugins which is in a Drupal. Okay, that time I change the value into 1. The order need to be changed. Instead of 0, 1, 2, the order should be 1, 2, 3.
But you may require to rewrite all other options, right?
No need of rewrite the value. I need to rewrite the order key.
Yes, key for all the values, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So what I suggest.
No. What I'm asking is that only that issue will be happened in the Drupal. How it will be in the WordPress?
Then I need to ask Varut.
Okay.
Varut, you got the point? Varata, you got the point of what Shankar is trying to say? Am I audible?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you. How about Aru? Are you there? Hello. Hello, Mani.
Yes, I able to hear you, Shankar.
Yeah.
You have to see the arrow screen. I think.
Okay, maybe you post the call like connect with Aru also.
Okay then. So arrow is am I audible? I think Shankar can connect you over the offline. If possible, Shankar connect you over the WhatsApp so that I also get the answer.
Yeah, sure. So you got my point, Mani?
Yes, I got the point. No, I was thinking like you're trying to understand how to reorder, but you already knows that. You want to know the solution with respect to WordPress, then I am not the correct person to answer it.
Okay, Mani. So you also which technology you are looking?
No, Varu, I was working for. Working in TCS. Okay.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
I was working in the TCS. I used to work with some of the open source organizations,
Okay.
including GCP, WordPress, Google, and other persons.
Okay.
So, and I was working on as a cloud architect.
Okay.
I was passionate about the cloud architect and basically of financial e-business, Oracle e-business financial management.
Okay.
Two very diversified way I was working on.
Oh, nice.
What you're working on? Where you're working and what you're doing?
I'm working in the CTS. I'm working as a Drupal developer.
You're working as a Drupal developer. Good.
Uh,
Got-
also same as WordPress CMS.
Okay. I was I was working on different fields,
Okay.
and I used to work on cloud computing.
Okay.
Uh, Presently, I was working on the cloud computing, and previously I was working on Oracle e-business financial management.
Oh,
I used to keep change the technology.
okay. I'm not like that. I have been working for Drupal technology only.
That is previously I was worked on the mainframe.
Okay.
Then I moved to Oracle e-business. I feel like it's fine. It got a end for me, so I just moving to the cloud computing. Maybe
Oh,
down the line I will go to IoT. And most of the outside the world, is this about my profession? Outside
okay.
profession, I used to work with some of the organizations directly.
Mhm.
Some of the organizations like Lenovo, Google, and IBM's. I
Oh,
used to
super.
work with them,
Mhm.
and mostly I used to interact with the person who's have the cloud computing as of now. Previously, I
Oh,
was in different. Presently, I was working with targeting the
oh,
cloud computing,
okay.
and I used to have some technical advisor for some of the organizations.
Oh,
I used to
it's not
or
from
what?
TCS. It is apart from
No, no,
TCS.
no. No. I used as he told, right. He used to work with some NGOs. I used to work with some of the NGOs and organizations and things.
Okay.
Basically, tech lovers. That is.
Okay, so this is new to me. Those things talked about.
I am tech lovers.
Okay,
I'm the tech lover and used to work with the different technology.
okay.
I feel like learning and doing something. That's it.
Okay. Actually, currently I'm running on blog that is developed in the WordPress, so that I planning for to know about the WordPress and contributing something in the WordPress also. So that I joined this meetup.
Okay. I think he has to go off, I believe.
Yeah. I got a WhatsApp from him. His Hangout is crashed.
Okay then. Okay then we can drop off. Nice meeting with you. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Mani. Probably the next
Okay.
meetup we can know about how the plugin will develop in our WordPress. So that way we
Yes. Let us see. Let us see what he is coming up. Okay.
okay, Mani. Okay.
Okay. Then. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.